Welcome back to 843 TV. We are now getting joined by Kevin Werner with Magnus Development Partners, and he's going to share about an exciting project coming to the area. Kevin, nice to have you today.
Great to be here. Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your company.
Yes, the origins of Magnus go back to 2009 when myself and my business partner, Bill Owen, we co-developed a 200,000 square foot spec building in Columbia, South Carolina. And the success of that project brought us forward to develop or to form Magnus Development Partners together. And really the origins today, and the company that we have, we're a full service industrial real estate development firm. And for us, that means that we have three segments of the building. One, or of our business, we have a spec development platform, which we create buildings without tenants committing on the front end, but we design it in such a way where it's flexible in order to hit the vast majority of the marketplace, and that's what we're talking about here in Beaufort. The other side of our business is build to suit for lease, which is a growing company will come to us and say, can you design the building, construct it, finance it, turn it over to us in the form of a long-term lease or even a sale back to the company in some cases. And then the third side of our business is the consulting side, or we call it corporate services, but to give you an example what that looks like an airport recently just hired us to examine their 500 acres that they had surrounding the airport that we can come up with development plans on their behalf for. But that is, in a nutshell, what Magnus Development does on our industrial side.
Well, you know that right now you have a building here at Beaufort that you're working with.
Yes.
We talked about it, 60,000 square feet?
64,000 square feet, yeah.
And we're talking about the purpose and what would we do with this large building, and give us some ideas what we can do with that building.
Sure. So the 64,000 square foot building is really, it's a state-of-the-art industrial building that's going to be designed in such a way where it can multi-tenant, meaning more than one business can locate at this location. So we don't need a 64,000 square foot tenant. We need somebody here that can break it down into, that's right, into 8,000 square foot increments, which each bay will be 8,000 square foot times the size of the building. And so we'll have 8 bays, and we can multi-tenant this and bring in multiple tenants. So we would anticipate that we would have 3 to 5 tenants potentially under one roof.
You know, ideas for tenants would be warehousing. We have the Arrow, we have, Gulfstream. We're in between Charleston and Savannah, so we are another source that can be available easily back and forth. So who are we looking for tenants? Any ideas?
Yes, that's a great question. In fact, anytime that we build from a speculative standpoint, we really examine the marketplaces, and you're 100% right. The aerospace industry right now with Boeing up in Charleston and Gulfstream down in Savannah are two large OEMs with lots of different suppliers in and around the region. So this building will allow folks that potentially have contracts with them to be able to live in Beaufort County and be able to work in Beaufort County without having to necessarily travel to those two different locations every day for work. And so we think that we're going to be able to attract firms to Beaufort with this product, and it'll be folks that'll be in potentially the warehousing business, because we have 2 great ports that we're servicing too, right? We've got
just about to say the ports
the
and
Charleston
the waterways.
port and the Savannah port. I mean, these are 2 of the best ports that we have in our country, and certainly along the East Coast. And so the amount of product that's coming in here, regional distribution's at an all-time high. So we would anticipate that we're going to have tenants and prospects that are going to be looking for regional distribution outlets, which this building is designed and set up for, as well as light manufacturing with folks in the aviation community or folks that are in the automobile business as well. So,
what's the timeline that you're looking at?
Great question. We are currently in design right now, and we would anticipate breaking ground this summer. And then we'd have about, call it 22 weeks or so of physical construction in order to create the building. So we'll be turning this over, call it second quarter of 2021.
And where are you locating them?
The Beaufort Commerce Park, just off of US 21. So we will, Highway 21 being Trask, right across from Parris Island, the military base.
You know, Lisa, we spent a lot of time in Beaufort, and we've just learned about how vibrant and how the political arena, the business community, they've been trying so hard to keep people here and build jobs. And this is another part of the piece that we've been talking about.
And why not? Look at the view, look at the area that you have to live in. So how have you been received so far in Beaufort? Tell us about your experience interacting with the different organizations that you need to get this project.
So Beaufort's Economic Development Corporations is about as good as you get in the state of South Carolina. And so they have lots of information for us. They are wonderful about setting up direct face-to-face meetings with not only the procurement side on the government side, but also potential end users as well. So we're working hand in glove with them in order to make sure we get the right tenant mix, but we really treat them like a partner in this whole process and the project itself. But that has been second to none. As far as the ease of doing business in a coastal area, Beaufort's a wonderful area to go to.
And you live in Columbia.
I
so
do,
you're traveling
yes.
back and forth to work on this project?
So what brought you to the coastline? I think that's an interesting question.
Sure. So, you know, we've done business in Savannah and we've done business in Charleston. And so here we are smack dab right between the two, right? And so Beaufort's always been on our radar screen, and we've looked at the area previously. And quite frankly, our interests have just pulled one direction to the next on the coast, going up to Charleston or down to Savannah. But now is the time that we just feel like we've got the right product to hit the marketplace. And it's a great offering here that we think is going to be wildly successful.
I was just going to ask you, what changed your mind, or what brought you here? You've been looking and eyeing this community for a long time. What was the switch that brought you here?
It was timing, and it was really some of our conversations with John O'Toole over at the Development Corporation, and why he thought we'd be successful with the product today based on some of the demand side. You know, real estate gets pretty simple when you just think about supply and demand. The supply side of Beaufort is not great. There's just, you know, there's a lot of second generation buildings, third generation buildings. We think that if we bring in a state-of-the-art industrial building that can serve a large percentage of the industrial users, that we're going to be very successful, and it'll be the first building in Beaufort to offer that.
Well, Kevin, thank you very much for joining us. I mean, it's such exciting news. It just gets better and better.
Absolutely. As if you needed another reason to come to the Low Country.
There you go.
And we'll be right back with more WHHI-TV.
Thank you.